Welcome to Tables and Tangerines, the magazine, and now the show. You guys are here to join me with my special guest, Jacqueline McSears Boles. And I just want to thank you for having her. Thank you for joining me, and I'm glad to have her join us. You guys are tuning in because we want to let you know who the people are in our magazine. So we're bringing them to you live and in color so that you can find a little bit more about them. And if those of you that have not subscribed, you got to get your subscriptions. Get out there at tablesandtangerinesmag.com. Join us and take part in all that we have to share. We want to recognize people, lifestyles, and we're just bringing lots of things to you. So we want to be a resource for you. So right now, without further ado, we're going to bring on my special guest, Jacqueline. Hello.
How are you?
Hi. I'm so glad you're here to join me. Guys, I'm so excited because I know Jacqueline from years ago. I won't say how many years because we're not telling about our ages, right? But we go way back, and I'm just excited about all the things that she's doing in the community, and she's done great things. And now that we've been going through COVID, a lot of people are wondering what to do about their finances and money and how to deal with those things. So we're going to talk about a few things. But right now, I just want to welcome you and say, Jacqueline, who is Jacqueline McSears Boles? Who is this woman? Who are you?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so very much for allowing me to share some time and energy and information with you. Congratulations on all of the endeavors that you personally have experienced and all of your successes and the impact and the positive positivity that you're having on the community and those that are in your village. So I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge you, Queen, and say congratulations. We most appreciate you. But who is Jacqueline McSears Boles? It's been a journey. And so I have to say the essence of who I am right now is one that has a person that has been through a lot of education. And not necessarily collegiate education, and that's where we met, right. But also just life experiences and life education and surrounding myself with mentors and those individuals that have sort of paved a path for me, but also to being really clear and very conscious of those that came before me, my ancestors. And so that's second to none. But God, and so I have matriculated through life in my golden ages now in the 50s, to be someone that is very spiritually grounded, very intentional on what my purpose and my give back needs to be, and very aware of the love and perseverance and courage and duty that is required of me. And so that's who I've been able to mature into. And my journey, obviously, I hope is not yet over, but I'm still learning every single day. I'm still a student every single day and open to new experience and opportunities. But I am very aware of my obligation and my duty as it relates to community and what's happening around me.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that. Well said. Well said. And I applaud you for that because bringing in your ancestors, your heritage, and also celebrating those that went before you, that's important. A lot of times, on this journey, people forget. Don't forget to thank those that went before you. I used to say reaching back and holding on to them, but moving ahead, grab on to something in the future. So celebrate that. And so we want to, and I know you're also a wife and a mother and all these things, and so we want to talk about that too. But I want to get to your role at Industrial Bank, and right now, and I want to make sure you're the senior vice president of the Retail Operations Banking Division. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's a tongue twister and a mouthful. Right. So break that down for us. What exactly do you do in your role?
Sure. So let me tell you very quickly about Industrial Bank first. It is a third generation African-American owned, Black owned family bank. We are primarily located in the DMV area. We were founded on August 20th, 1934. So 86 years ago. Wow. And we came to fruition. Our founder, Jesse H. Mitchell, and 9 other businessmen brought Industrial Bank to us because, as you can only imagine, back in the 30s, African Americans and other minorities were able to make deposits into local banks, many that we still support today under new names, but into those larger banks. And they would accept our deposits. But when it came time for us to elevate our standard of living through home ownership, which is the first way and the best way to start to build wealth that you can transfer from generation to generation. Entrepreneurship, we needed to start our own businesses. Sending our children to college, right? We met with closed doors. And so that's the essence in which my bank, our bank, came to fruition. And so now we have some locations in Harlem and Newark, New Jersey. But in that, my role is the senior vice president. So really, to be honest, what I do is I'm a leader. I'm a mentor for the branch managers. I manage the branch managers, also our call center and our deposit operations center. But I'm here to serve them. I also enjoy the community interaction aspect. I have to tell you that I've been with Industrial Bank a little over 11 years, and I have seen lives transformed as a result of what Industrial Bank does and gives back to the community. We are a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution, and we reinvest 60% of our assets back into the communities that we serve, because we realize that, it's the community that we're here, to service and to make sure that we have a positive impact. And so we intentionally do that. And so that's pretty much what my role is there.
Okay. And how when you talk about, well, let's break it down because it's a couple of different things. So the bank is there to serve the community. And so tell me what the community is like, first of all, because I know there are underserved communities. And so what is this community that you're reaching?
Right. No, and you said it. The majority of our branches are located in low to moderate, unbanked or underbanked communities. And so the wonderful thing about working with a community bank, despite the fact that we are so intensely regulated, sometimes more so than our larger counterparts, but we are able to speak to and meet those community members where they are. For example, we have a wonderful relationship with the faith-based community. The churches were there for us since day one. And so we're not only a member of the Collective Empowerment Group, which is a group of pastors in the Maryland, D.C. area. We meet once a month under the leadership now of Dr. Bobby Manning to discuss specific things that are happening in the communities, financial and beyond, and how do we collectively, because it's a collective responsibility, meet those needs of the communities that we serve. So we have a great relationship with the churches, schools. I think I've been in most of the schools in the county and in Washington, D.C. But we go into the schools and we're there primarily to provide financial literacy. Information is power. And I'll tell you, back in 2013, our president said, you know what, I just think there's a lack of information. We need more information so that our community members can make different and better decisions financially. And so then we created a full gamut and we provide it for free. We like to have groups of 20 members or more, but we have a whole engaging curriculum, Banking 101, the importance of savings, needs versus wants, right? Understanding and managing credit. It is so misunderstood and underutilized and under leveraged. You can also leverage your credit for financial gain as well. And so retirement planning, estate planning, home ownership. So that is what it looks like. We're in schools, we're in churches, we partner with a lot of nonprofit organizations. One of the things that has drastically changed my life is a couple of years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago now, we started going into DC jail. Every other Tuesday, myself and a couple of counterparts would go into the jail and we would work with men who had served at least 20 years, but they were charged and convicted as young folks, 16, 17, 18. And so many of you all are familiar with, the efforts of Kim Kardashian and those individuals that she directly assisted. Well, they are part of our family. They were in our financial literacy class, and even our president. After we have a certain number of sessions, we provide a graduation ceremony where we cook and we bring them some good food and certificates. And our president, B. Doyle Mitchell, and his sister, Patricia Mitchell, who's an executive vice president, goes into the jail, and they are the keynote speakers. And so that's just a smidget of the of who we are. What bank president do you know that's going behind the wall to meet people where they are?
And going to jail.
And let me tell you something, it is going to jail. The whole
Wow.
process, the whole experience,
Oh my.
emotional. It broke me down, and it has forever changed my life.
Mm.
It has forever changed my life, but I'm so thankful for that experience.
Wow, I can't even imagine. I was gonna say let's switch gears for a second. I was gonna say when you talked about going in jail and dealing with the men who've been there for 20 years and went in as you. Now I know that you have a son. Tell me,
I
like,
do.
as a mother, what kind of impact has that had on you? You know, dealing with the financial literacy, going to jail, and trying to
Yeah.
explain to him what to avoid. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let me tell you, the very first time I went, just to be 100% transparent, before I could even get into where they were,
Mhm.
I saw images of them. And it reminded me of my son, who at the time might have been 15 or 16. He's 19 now. And it
Right.
broke me down because to see so many
Mhm.
of our sons that
So,
young, they haven't even had facial hair, because we started with the youth. We did start with some 16 and 17-year-olds first before we went into the men's unit,
mhm.
and it broke me down. And you know, the blessing is, and what I'm trying to do is to travel to those places
Mhm.
that I never want my son to be, other
Absolutely.
than if he's volunteering and uplifting, right? So I've
Right.
been in the jails, I've been in the homeless shelters and different things like that. But there are so many of our sons and daughters,
Yeah.
children that are in deplorable situations. And so it has changed my life. I had never been inside of any facility before that, and
Mhm.
had no idea what to expect other than what I see on TV. But when you are walking in,
It's a whole.
it's totally
Mhm.
unexplainable situation. And I said, once I got in and I got myself together and I was able to get through my presentation, I'm never coming back. But
Right.
once you connect souls, right? Once you connect souls and you're sitting across the table of individuals' children whose
Yeah.
parents are not even able to be in their presence because they're that confined and that restricted,
Wow.
you have to go back, because that's that maternal spiritual thing.
It
And
kicks.
so I can't even begin to explain. But let me tell you, God is good. A lot of our students that have been in there for over 20 years are now released, and they're doing
Wow.
wonderful things, and so successful in their lives right now. So,
I love
yeah.
that. Yeah, that whole transition, getting acclimated back to society and all, and being turned down in so many places. That. So when you were explaining, the different things that you were doing with Industrial Bank, it made me think of an extended family. And so, do
Yes.
you think that Industrial Bank is sort of the extended family in the community?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. We are the extended family all the way up to the president, like I said, and they have his cell phone.
Oh, really?
And they can text him and they can call him. Our
Oh,
bank all together, even our employees, we really are a family. I've worked for other large banks before coming, and
uh-huh.
I will tell you, joining Industrial Bank back in 2009 is probably one of the best life decisions that
Mm,
I've ever made. It's brought a level of purpose that I didn't even think was conceivable for me. So absolutely,
wow.
absolutely.
So tell me real quick, what made you even want to get into banking and the whole industry? Just to let the audience know. So we met at college. As she mentioned before, we met at college. I know Jackie in a whole nother different life, and and college is fun. You have different experiences.
Yeah, yeah.
Now fast forward, and God it's so funny how God just keeps connecting it, bringing us in different
Right,
areas,
right.
just woven our lives. So I know that it's divine connections, and I so appreciate that. And
Mhm.
even to the point of even knowing your sister-in-law,
Yes, yes.
how that came about. So I love that. So we talk about family. We made a family connection before you were even before I even knew you were at Industrial. So how
That's
about
right.
that?
That's right.
But tell me about what made you get into this field. I mean,
Yeah.
other than loving money, who wouldn't want to be surrounded around money? But other than
But
that,
guess what? I would have never in 1,000 years, right?
yeah.
So after we got disconnected, I ended up going to Bowie and I
Mhm.
graduated with business management. And
Right.
so I was actually in retail, women's clothing, assistant manager in women's
Mhm.
clothing for many years, and never thought about banking, wasn't interested in, I took that one little accounting class at DSC.
I
And I
know.
was like, no, I don't want to do anything with numbers, right?
Right.
This is how God works. And this is one thing that I want people to realize: when opportunities show up,
Hmm.
even if you don't feel that you're interested or it's anything that should be part of your life, you better take a look.
Come
Because my manager at a store, I was working in a mall, and my manager left my store
on.
and said, I'm going to a management program at than Bank of America. You're going through a management program. So she went and she left and she came back several months later and showed me her paycheck and said, they have some more openings. And I was like, you know what, sign me up. And so about, at the time, her smiling, seeming happy and energetic and saying, you know what, I think this will be a good fit for you. Come and join. Now, despite I had no rhyme or reason or no interest at all, I did. I went through the management program. I didn't know a stock from a bond, a mortgage from a checking account, but they taught me. I learned, and the rest is really history. I was a branch manager for several years, probably about 12 or 13 years, prior to coming out of there, being promoted. But take advantage of opportunities. Wins from not what they come, but that could really just change your life on a dime, and you'll be happy.
Absolutely. Speaking of change and all that we've gone through with COVID last year and the social distancing and the pandemic, just the busyness of it all, how has COVID adjusted? Because I know that because you're so involved, how has Industrial Bank adjusted to COVID and all that it's brought about? How has that?
God has been merciful. We had some issues, with some of our employees even. Relative to their health in the early stages, and as we were trying to still understand everything. So there were some moments where we had to close some branches very, very early. We had to learn technology, right? Extremely quickly. We had to redesign the branches with the sneeze guards and the temperature taking, footprints on the floor and ropes to reassign how the ingress and egress happens. And so we had to make a lot of changes extremely quickly. But I'm happy to say that right now we allow all of our branches to open. We allow 5 customers in the lobby at once. Everyone is subject to a contactless temperature taking, just to make sure we're creating a list of everyone that comes and goes. And for those customers that need to open accounts or apply for loans or have some type of a desk transaction, we are accepting appointments only on our website, which is industrial-bank.com. We're opening accounts online. And I'll tell you, the majority of our community overall has done a great job shifting, because we now utilizing email and Microsoft Teams and all these different platforms to interact with each other. So when you think about it, my life has really become more productive, because I'm not jumping in the car going to Northwest, Southeast, Prince George's County, all these places today. I now can just, click on a different link. And so it has really enhanced our level of productivity in certain levels. So it overall, it's been okay. It's been okay. And we're still navigating through some, but it's been okay.
Yeah, it's been it's definitely been a different kind of time. And I'm glad that you all are still open, still active, been around for so long, and that speaks volumes. And I'm proud of the work that you guys do in the community. So tell me how I think you mentioned some of the products earlier that you had, but tell me about some of the other products and services that you offer.
Yeah. So for those individuals that need second chances, we are a bank that believes in second chances. And so some of our community members are unbanked or underbanked. And so if you do not have a checking account relationship with a bank, on average, you're spending about $800 a year on alternative services, check cashing fees, postal money orders to pay bills. And so that shouldn't be. And so we do allow individuals that may have had some derogatory experiences, meaning they may owe some other banks amounts of money that are preventing them from reestablishing their account at the larger banks. So we do believe in second chances, and we have programs for that as well. But one of the things that I love is our rewards program, and it's called KASASA, KASASA. It's nice and Afrocentric sounding, right? Doesn't mean anything. I think there's a small river somewhere on the continent. But our KASASA program is a rewards program. And so we pay you to bank with us. We pay you to bank with us. And so we are still right now, for today, paying an interest rate of 1.46% on balances up to $15,000. That you can't find a 5-year CD right now at any bank or credit union, pretty much paying that rate. But we are, because it's the right thing to do for our community. We also have a cash back program where you can earn 3% cash back on your everyday purchases. That translates to about $7.40. So we pay you. We buy you lunch at least
Uh-huh.
once a month for banking with us. Now, there are three small qualifications. One, that you allow us to send you e-statements each month instead of paper because we need to save money.
Yeah.
Two, that you log on to your online banking portal at least once a month. And we're kind of checking it daily, especially with all these Amazon purchases and boxes that are coming to our houses. I
Mhm.
know I'm not the only one.
No,
And
yeah.
then the third, and then the third is that you swipe that debit card 12 times a month. So we have Kasasa, which is very attractive for our entrepreneurs. We realize that for our emerging businesses, our new businesses, cash flow is sometimes a little challenging, especially now. So
Mhm.
we have a relationship for our small businesses. And if you're 5 years or younger, you can bank with us 1 year without having to maintain a minimum balance, and there will be no monthly service fees. So
Really?
that gives you 1 year to create what's very important, a relationship with your banker, so that we can make sure that you are leveraging all the products and services that will help you to meet your unique business goals and desires. So we have a lot. We have a lot. We have a steady saver CD that you can start investing with FDIC insurance with much lower balance thresholds that allows you anytime deposits. So we have a whole suite, I'm telling you, a whole suite of
Wow.
wonderful products and services that you will not see on the websites of other banks. Visit us and take a look.
Yeah, I made sure this for those of you that are just tuning in, we're here with Jacqueline McSears Boles, and she is from Industrial Bank, and she has wonderful things to say about the bank and all the products and services that they offer. So go to the website, check them out. They have great things that they have for you. And I didn't know, were you done with the services? Did you want to
Yeah,
check?
yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
much, the business. And I can always come back and do an overview of many of the products and services, but there's something out there for you. I can guarantee it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was going to say when people are applying, especially minorities, when they're applying for an account or loans at your bank, what are some of the red flags that generally come up on their paperwork that you all take into consideration?
Yeah. So first of all, we all know that credit is important. So it's critical that you monitor your credit scores and your credit report on an annual basis. And you can do that for free. I know many of you all have different relationships with different vendors, but annualcreditreport.com will give you a free credit report for Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. They don't give you the score. You have to pay for the score, but they give you all the information that is there. And so really monitoring your credit report, that is going to be the first, your first step to it, identifying fraud. And there can be
Mhm.
loan fraud. So you want to make sure that your information is correct. And then the other thing is relationship. You need to have a relationship with your bank or your credit union prior to that loan need arising, right? So that you can know what is the process, what are their expectations, what are the timelines? Because I'll tell you, a lot of times when we need a loan, some things have fallen by the wayside and we're desperate at that moment, and time is of essence. And so I think to really position yourself for having a successful loan experience is to start engaging before the need arises. The other thing is your financials, especially for my business owners. We see that sometimes the accounting practices and the records are not up to par to what a lender would need to utilize and to review. And so make sure that you have, your accountant or your CPA creating those records for you, and that is not someone that's not qualified to keep track of your financial records. That's very, very important.
Right, absolutely. You can't get Joe down the street to just do your business.
Absolutely not.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was going to say, oh, personally, so what's one of the biggest risks that you've taken in your journey? What's one of the biggest risks? Not the bank, but you personally.
Yeah. So actually, it is me connected to the bank. So before I came to Industrial Bank, I was at another a bank that we're all very familiar with, and I was doing well. I was happy. I was getting promoted. I was making good money. I had just become licensed for life and health, and I was able to sell annuities and get a little extra money. And I was doing great. And then I got a call from one of my colleagues, and he said, "Look, I'm at this bank now, and I think you would really, like it." I said, "Well, what's the name of the bank?" "Industrial Bank." "Well, I've seen it on Pennsylvania Avenue. It didn't ever look like a place I want to walk into. I'm good now. I'm really good now." And so I sort of let it go. Well, I got a call again from him several months later and said, "Look, can you just walk in? Just walk in and see what you think. Talk to some of the people and call me back." And
Mhm.
I did. And I walked in and I felt something. I mean, when I say I felt something, I really felt a warmth,
Mm.
a welcomeness. It just something stirred my spirit. And I said, well, let me just call and go in and see. And I will tell you, if you can't tell, I am living my dreams right now.
Mm.
And I thought I was good, but now I'm great.
Wow.
Just because I'm connected to so many wonderful people, so many wonderful organizations, and it's beyond banking. So my experience at Industrial Bank, yes, we have all the products and services, and we have the loans. We need some mortgages. So community interest rates are at an all-time low right now. So if you have not refinanced your house or purchased a home, I'm saving $700 a month on my mortgage because I recently refinanced. So let that pique your curiosity. You can contact me and we'll get you some quotes, but now is the time for that. But I'll tell you, my whole experience, my whole life has changed since I took the risk
Mm-hmm.
from being happy and content and comfortable into the unknown. So
Mm-hmm.
going from a very large bank to a very small community bank, that was one of the best choices I've ever made in my life.
Absolutely. That's great. I mean, and I was going to say, you mentioned it before, but how important has your faith been in the decision making and um, between your personal, your business, and everything else?
Where would I be? Where would I be? If I had 1,000 or 2,000 tongues, I could not even begin to articulate how
Mhm.
important my faith is. I would not be successful in any aspect of my life.
Right.
There are many times I would have gotten knocked down and didn't even have the wherewithal to try to put one foot on the floor to stand up again, had it not been for my faith. So that is it. That is it. That is the foundation. That's where my strength comes from on real difficult days. So it's everything. It's my foundation for which everything is built.
Absolutely great, and you have that support also with Industrial Bank. That helps. I was going to say with your when your business when your job can help be a support, that helps. So what about with your family? Did you get the same support with your family?
Oh, my family. My family is my everything. My household family, and then
Mhm.
my extended family. So we're a family. We still before COVID, we're doing Sunday dinners. So we're a little missing it right now. We still do Sunday dinners, 2 or 3 times a month. And that's cousins and aunts and uncles and grandparents from this marriage and that marriage. I mean, we're one big tribe. And so
Right.
I love my family. Anybody that knows me or follows me on social media knows that I love to cook and entertain. And
Mhm.
so we do a lot of that here, but my family is everything. And then I just want to say one other thing about faith. Have
Mhm.
you ever been to a company or an organization where your president leads you in prayer before any type of staff meeting?
Oh,
That's the
come
kind
on.
of
Are
business
you
that I work for.
serious?
Vito Mitchell will have us bow our heads and pray. And when we have bank-wide meetings, we've had Pastor Keith Battle come and be
Yeah.
our speaker. We've had so many. We have such wonderful relationships. And the chair of our board is Reverend Jonathan L. Weaver from Greater Mount Nebo. So he's
Right.
the chair of our board. He's my mentor as well. So yeah, we just it's all about family relationships, faith, and all that. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. So tell me what's next on the horizons for you. I know you're at a great place right now, but there are so many things in store for you. And
Yeah, a day in my life, there's never 2 days that are really the same, right? And
Mhm.
so, that's the exciting part. Right now, I am learning, honestly, a little bit about real estate and relocating some of my branches and looking for, different locations for some of my branches. I've had the opportunity to participate with a wonderful task force in relocating one of our branches in Newark, virtually, mind you.
Mhm.
So I'm meeting with contractors and architects virtually, looking at plans, and I'm learning about permitting and all those other things. So again, my life is so beyond banking, but I'm loving every minute of it, because whenever you have an opportunity to become familiar with something that you weren't the day before, take
Yeah.
that opportunity, because you never know where it will land you. So I'm learning everything.
No, you never know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And I'm going to honor your time. We're going to wind up because we have so many things we can cover. So we'll just have to have you come back. But
I would love to. I would love to. I had so much fun.
yes, yes. Is there anything that you want to leave, share with our audience or leave them with before? Because we know, let me let them know, again, we're here with Industrial Bank's Jacqueline McSears Boles, and we want you to tune in to, or not tune in, but we want you to check out their website and
Yeah.
go visit them. open up an account, get a loan. I mean, there's the products and services are endless, and they have some great rates going now. So you need to check them out. But is there anything that you want to leave us with? Share.
There is. I think that now that we still are working, really closely with our families, I think we need to start having different conversations, particularly if you have young people in your house.
Absolutely.
Let's start having conversations about finances, because you know that when we were in school, finances wasn't really part of the day-to-day school topic. And so I think it's really important that we talk to our young people, our young kings and queens on the horizon, as one day they'll be heads of household. And although they may have a law degree or they may have a medical degree, if they don't have the wherewithal about how to manage your finances, most marriages don't end because of infidelity. They end because of financial discord. And
Right.
so we need to teach our young people. And for some reason in our community, it seems like it's kind of like a secret, right? You don't want the kids to know how much you make. Well, for many years, I was a single parent, and I had to teach my son at age 10, like, look, this is roughly what mommy makes, but before you would say, gimme, or can I have, let's go back and talk about, this is how much we're bringing in. We have to pay the mortgage. We have to pay the car insurance. At the time, we have to pay your aftercare. We have to pay your karate. So they need to understand, and it's simple math. It's simple math. And I'll tell you, I've seen over the years the transformation and the level of understanding that my son has had because I engaged him in those conversations.
Right.
So let's just talk about our finances. Let's not be so secretive about it. And then the other thing that I just want to say on a humanitarian level is that let's be kind to each other. I think that kindness and smiling and being open and being respectful takes us so far in our communities. So I would just implore everyone to give someone a kind word or a kind gesture if you're out, or maybe let somebody stand in front of you in line. But let's just be kind to each other, because we are and we should be our brother's keeper.
Absolutely. You couldn't have summed it up better. I appreciate that. And absolutely be kind, you guys. You've heard it first.
Yeah.
Be kind, pay it forward. It doesn't take much. Just gives you. There have been plenty of times where I just smiled at somebody and it just made the whole difference. So
Yes.
it didn't cost anything. Just smile. Be kind. And that's also the message in the heart of Industrial Bank. Be kind, pay it forward, and be about the community. We need to be about our Father's business, and we need to talk about money and wealth. And He said, we are here. He's given us the ability to create wealth. So Industrial Bank is here to help with that. Thank you, Jacqueline McSears Boles. I say the whole name because I love it.
Thank you. And I work hard to become that person. So thank you so much. And I really, really appreciate your inviting me. And I had a wonderful time, and I look forward to reconnecting again.
Absolutely. Thank you. So thank you guys for tuning in. Next time we'll have another show. So join us here on Tables and Tangerines, the magazine and the show. Love you guys. Love you guys.
Bye-bye.